Muftau Nabila Abdullah. 8 regional football associations today received Nissan Navara pickups as part of the FIFA Forward program, an initiative aimed at strengthening football development across the country. The beneficiary regions include Brona Hafo Football Association, Upper West Regional Football Association, the Central Regional Football Association, Western Regional Football Association, the Eastern Regional Football Association, Upper West Football Association, Volta Regional FA, and Ashanti Regional FA. However, for that of Greater Accra and the Northern regions, the Ghana Football Association says that their vehicles will be ready pretty soon. These vehicles, provided under FIFA's flagship development project, are intended to support the day-to-day administrative and operational activities of the regional football associations. The move is part of GFA's broader vision to decentralize football development and empower regional bodies with the tools they need to function effectively. And as mentioned, the Greater Accra Football Association and the Northern Regional Football Association are also slated to receive their vehicles as part of subsequent FIFA Forward program. We hear from President of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okreku, who was speaking at the ceremony earlier today at the football governing body's headquarters, and he revealed the total amount the Ghana Football Association spent to procure these pickups.
The pickup trucks that you see here today didn't come for free. The pickups indeed cost us money. The 8 pickups you see here today cost us $262,224 US. $262,224 US. I hope I got it right. This is how FIFA Forward money is used. FIFA Forward money comes in a straitjacket. FIFA Forward money is not used to buy second-hand cars. FIFA Forward money is not used to buy hidden mattresses. FIFA Forward money is not hidden money. And it's important my colleagues in the media do learn what we mean by FIFA Forward money. It's important people learn how to report the truth. I've always said that truth would always win the battle. If you lie, lies will come after you. If you lie, lies will come after you. And I'm repeating again. If you lie, lies will come after you.
Now let's talk some hockey now. And the Vice President of the Ghana Hockey Federation, Elizabeth King, says that the under-21 national team players are disheartened after Ghana's withdrawal from the upcoming Junior Africa Cup. She was speaking exclusively to my colleague, Elom Benaya Dafiamekbo.
The tournament, which was scheduled to take place in Namibia from April 18 to 25, would have provided the young players with their first taste of international competition. Joy Sports first reported on April 11 that Ghana would no longer participate in the tournament. In an exclusive interview with Joy Sports, Elizabeth King explained that despite submitting a detailed budget and documentation to the National Sports Authority and the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, no financial support was secured.
We sent the budget and everything to NSA, to the ministry, but we were hoping upon hope that we'll be able to get the funding, because some of the technical committee, some individuals even started the non-residential camping, training them, letting them come, paying from their own resources, hoping that we'll get funding from the ministry. Until last week, about 2 weeks to the time, that was about 4 April, for such tournaments. So we had to withdraw from the tournament. Most of the corporate bodies and organizations couldn't sponsor us, so couldn't give us any favorable answer as to the sponsorship package because of, we into the new administration and resetting so many things. So they have to sit down and look at so many things before they can decide on sponsorship. We understood them. And therefore, we were hoping that the ministry was going to help us until about 4th April, or 3rd April, in fact, they wrote that they cannot sponsor the team. So we didn't have any other alternative but to write to Africa to withdraw from the tournament, which was a shocker to Africa anyway.
She also highlighted the emotional impact the withdrawal has had on the players, stressing how important international exposure is to their development.
If you look at the trend of the players, the current players that we have, it was through the youth games that we had the crop of our national team. That was somewhere in 2010. That we still have, we had the under-21 in East London and South Africa. That we had the team, and which we have brought, they have come up for us to groom them to this state. So in actual fact, they also wanted to be like them, because the ultimate goal of any hockey player is to play an international match, not to just play, the local ones, but to play international games. So when it comes that they don't have the chance to play, it becomes disheartening for them.
She expressed her frustration as Ghana will also miss out on the opportunity to participate in the Junior World Cup.
And for Ghana too, it's a bit difficult or a shocker for us, because they needed only 3 teams to qualify for the World Cup, which we could have qualified, especially with the men. We could have qualified easily to do that. And Africa was relying on Ghana, Egypt, and South Africa to make it. Because, if you look at the international hockey, it's played and won by the Europeans. And therefore, for us to make an impact, there's a need for Africa also to make headways in World Championship. But here's the case: if you bring in a novice to qualify because maybe the giants of Africa are not there, then it casts doubt on the Hockey Federation or Africa as a continent as to whether they should even give us any slots in any World Cup. So it's a shocker to the players, Ghana hockey, and then to Africa.
For Joy Sports, Benaya Elom, Dafiamekpo.
Now let's talk something special that has to do with horse racing. This Easter, something bold and thrilling is galloping into Accra, and that is the Easter Beach Racing Festival at Laboma Beach Resort this weekend. First of its kind horse racing event on the beach. It promises 3 days of speed, sound, and unforgettable spectacle. I have been joined by some 2 representatives to talk about this event. Carl Kumezina, I don't know if I get a pronunciation right. Yeah, forgive me if I'm not able to get it. He's the marketing manager, Laboma, and Mohamed Jara, he is Horse Racing Association president. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
First of all, let me start with you. What influenced this idea of organizing this event during the Easter period?
Okay, so at Laboma, we believe in merging tradition with modern leisure.
Okay.
And then as well as, aside that, we also have a stable at Laboma.
Okay.
So this is something that we are putting together to support the local horse riders. Yes, and also draw put a spotlight on the equestrian culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me come to the President, Mohammed. Speak to me. You are at the forefront of this. What should we expect?
Okay, we will thank Laboma for organizing this thing for us. Yeah. We wanted to bring horse racing closer to the people.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, normally they watch it on TV, and this time we wanted them to be closer to the horses.
Okay.
Yeah, so they should expect something very great.
I would like you to drop your hands. Let's have a very nice conversation. I've not boxed you here. So, yeah, let's feel free. Let's have a very nice conversation. What are some of the key areas you should be looking forward to? Let me stay with Mohammed on this, because you are the actor, right? So you're the main reason why anyone out there would want to come to Laboma on that fateful day, which is it 19th, right? Yeah. When it starts.
Yeah, we are racing for 3 days.
You're racing for 3 days. Yeah. So why should anyone come?
You know, that is what, as I said before, you have been watching everything on the TV.
Yeah.
This time you'll be closer to the horses, the jockeys. You see how they ride, very closer to them, and you see how horse run. We normally run, but not everybody get a chance to look at it. But this time they are very close to everybody. And where the tracks is and the beach is very close, so you've seen everything.
What makes this event special?
So, you know, aside the adrenaline from the race, right, Laboma is offering people entertainment. There's live music, there's delicious food vendors, and then also VIP lounges for guests that are looking for more exclusive experiences. Yes, so this is something that you don't see on a regular. You know, Easter is about celebration as well, you know. And then Laboma is creating a space where everyone can come together. It's bringing together the community. And then we are creating that safe space. And then being able to experience the horses and then all that.
At close range. Should I come and ride some?
Sure, you should. You know?
I mean, my man will teach me how to do that. Because this one, I cannot stand here and don't know how to ride a horse. Maybe if I climb and then it moves 1, 2 ped, and you see me falling at the other end. That wouldn't be fair on me.
You need some small training, then you can go.
So how do you teach people how to ride horses? Is there a special way?
For the normal riding, we go like, but for racing, you have to teach you well, because you have to get a license before you can run. Okay,
so the people who are coming, how many are participating in this 3-day event?
You know, every day we'll be having 3 races. About 40 or 50 horses will be coming. We'll be dividing them into different divisions.
40 to 50 horses?
Yeah.
Each day?
Each day, yeah.
So assuming we're even doing 50 horses a day, that would be 150 horses within 3 days.
No, you know, we'll be running with different divisions.
Okay.
So
what are the divisions?
We have the 4C, the novice, the 4B, and then the top division.
I can do the novice.
All right. No, they are very difficult too, because they are learning.
Yes, because I'm a novice.
So if I give you the top division, they are into racing for a long time.
Yes.
It's easy to control them.
So I can do the novice.
The novice are very difficult.
Really? Why?
They are young ones.
I'm not so young. I'm learning.
All right, you come out, try. I'll give you one to ride.
He talks about organizing the event in the space of 3 days. Was there a special reason for that?
So, you know, the Easter period is a packed period. That's a period of, I think, 4 days, right? Okay, so we are leaving Friday, which is a Good Friday. So people can, you know, go out and then go to church and all that and then worship God. And then from Saturday to Monday, that's when, you know, we create that space for them to come and enjoy at Laboma.
I've spoken about me coming on. If I want to be a part of the event, what do I go through? What are the processes required?
So you just sign up, you know.
How do I sign up?
So we have our numbers on the flyers, the office numbers, and then you can just walk into Laboma as well, and then just sign up.
And you sign up?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything attached to advertise? Is it for free?
So, yes, it's for free. That's the good part. It's for free.
Okay.
Laboma is actually sponsoring this and then being able to, you know, support the local horse
Okay.
Horsemen, yeah.
You know, things like this, when they are done at the beach, there are some security requirements. Are there things like that you've put in place?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that I don't come and fall inside water?
Yes. We've put in measures, those who will be controlling the crowd.
Okay.
So we can get space for.
Okay. Okay. Gentlemen.
Can I add to that, though? So, yeah, at La Boma, you know, we have 24/7 security from CPS. And then we have lifeguards as well. And then we have medics on standby for the whole 3 days. And then people from the Vets Association as well. So everything is in place. And then we are inviting people to come to La Boma and have a good time.
Sign up.
The race to start from 2 o'clock.
2 p.m.?
Yeah, 2 p.m.
Okay.
The racing. Because by that time, the water will go back for us more to get a space.
Oh, so the water often goes back to rest?
Yes.
From 2 p.m.?
You know, when the tides goes down, it creates more space, and then it gives guests and then viewers a lot of
opportunity
room to come close.
Oh, really? I never knew this one. I've just learned something new. Thank you very much for passing.
Thank you for having us.
I'm extremely grateful. Now, we move on, and the big game, which will be happening tomorrow, Arsenal takes on Real Madrid. They have a 3-goal lead as they head on to the second leg of their quarter-final contest. That will be happening at the Bernabeu. Despite being considered underdogs for the tie, 2 outstanding free kicks from Declan Rice and another goal from Mikel Merino completed a memorable night for the Gunners at the Emirates Stadium. And guess what? Some 19 years ago, when they had a certain Thierry Henry, he went to the Bernabeu, scored the only goal as Arsenal made it to the next phase of the UEFA Champions League. Will Mikel Arteta and his men be able to do it this time around again? Let's go on the streets and speak to some fans ahead of this game, which will be happening on Wednesday night.
We are just a day away from the second leg between Arsenal and Real Madrid in the Champions League quarter-final. Last week, we saw Arsenal beat Real Madrid by 3-0 at the Emirates Stadium. This time, we are going back to the Santiago Bernabeu. Will Real Madrid be able to stage a comeback, or Arsenal will qualify to the next stage of the competition?
We will come back because we have done it before with Bayern Munich, Dortmund, then PSG. So we'll see Man City or Napoli. Yeah, so we will come back full vim.
Arsenal will be eliminated because Madrid, we have the men to win. I mean, nothing Arsenal can come to my Bernabeu to win, no. Arsenal will concede 4 goals, and Arsenal will be eliminated.
I think 2-1 for Arsenal, or maybe Real Madrid 2-1. So that
settle on one for us. 2-1 or against Arsenal or Real Madrid.
2-1 against Real Madrid.
Oh, Arsenal be Real Madrid from hands down. Omu to me, omu share that. You share 5 times. Ni nyine you omu go mpo ba kumpo ento ya tene muda. Wachina no. So wachina Arsenal to me anyi Madrid and free mo. Ami hwe ball biem o mi wiase. Oh, ebe you free hands down. Ebe you free hands down kra. Teacher ma me so ebe you free hands down. So wachina do twa bet bia on twa Arsenal ti qualify. Mo twa Arsenal win, on twa Arsenal qualify. Wachina me say Arsenal be qualify.
Real Madrid. Echna obeyi Arsenal free mo. Me sure say mo ba ne ye bo match we so amesamba. Me nua na di kan aka say Arsenal. No kre Madrid in Arsenal da. Our Champions League on share ne da or share no kre. But there's always a first time in football. What I say, ball na your boy, you know. Arsenal dominate and share 3-0. It say Real Madrid wait me about ball. About 10 say score line near winning.
I me GD or Madrid. Madrid best chance na bear 4. Men that down. Or best said bear 4 because first half na yedi Arsenal be we. You be bomb 2 second half no so you buy a bomb 2. Arsenal nyo bia or what say determination to say Chelsea and now Liverpool and no be the say teams in the and the over to aka say oh Arsenal there or nyo bia there anything so.
It's not going to be possible for Madrid. Arsenal is winning. Arsenal is going to win at Bernabeu.
Turn our attention to Germany's top flight football, the Bundesliga. As the season heats up, there's plenty to talk about. For the latest on the action, we are joined by our colleague, Dania Barcelona, from our partner station, DW, in Berlin. Dania, it was a week to forget for Bundesliga sides in the Champions League. Tell us about some of the things that did not go right for some of these clubs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was definitely a first leg of the quarterfinals in the Champions League to forget for both Bayern and Dortmund. Now, Bayern, we had actually talked about last week, they're suffering from a lot of injuries to key players. So Vince and company really had to field kind of a makeshift lineup. Now, they came out against Inter Milan, who's flying high, first place in Serie A in Italy right now. So we knew it was never going to be an easy game. Now, Bayern actually did start the game strong. They had a lot of chances. They took a lot of control. But then you saw that they did miss some key chances that normally they wouldn't miss. Harry Kane hit the post on a chance you thought, okay, this is for sure a goal. So maybe there was kind of that inkling that it was not going to be Bayern's night on the night. Now, Inter, they were able to cut through Bayern's team, score a goal, and hold the lead for most of the game. Now, towards the end of the game, it would have been so nice for Bayern. It was almost a fairy tale. Thomas Müller had been subbed in the second half. Now, we know that just last week, it was communicated he would not be extending his contract with Bayern Munich. So he was able to, in the 85th minute, score what they thought was going to be the equalizer for Bayern, but it wasn't meant to be on the night. Inter, in the dying minutes, they ended up scoring a goal. And unfortunately, that snapped a 22-match home Champions League winning streak for Bayern Munich that went back all the way to 2021. So disappointing for Bayern, and it was even worse for Dortmund. Now, they went to face Barcelona, who's coached by former Bayern Munich coach Hansi Flick. Barcelona right now have an unstoppable attack led by ex-Dortmund and Bayern player Robert Lewandowski, and two of probably the best players in the world right now in Rafinha and Lamine Yamal. And Barcelona were just too much for Dortmund on the night. They controlled possession, they created opportunities, and most importantly, they scored goals. 4 goals to be exact. So it was a night to forget for Dortmund.
It was indeed a night to forget. And guess what? And even after those Champions League matches where both of them lost, there was also the Klassiker that happened. It is the most anticipated match in the Bundesliga. How did that play out?
Yeah, so after a disappointing Champions League, both teams did not have much time to stop and think about it because they had to come face-to-face in Der Klassiker, which, like you said, is the biggest game in German football because they're the two most well-known teams. Now, this game had high stakes for both Bayern and Dortmund because Bayern is sitting at the top of the table, currently 6 points ahead of Leverkusen. They can't slip up because they know that Leverkusen is hot on their heels. And Dortmund, they're looking to turn around a very bad start to the season. And now they actually have a chance to qualify for European competitions next season. But to do that, they need to win probably the rest of their games or as many points as possible. So it was very high stakes coming into this game, and it definitely lived up to the Der Klassiker hype that we all have come to love. We saw 4 goals in the second half. Now, Bayern came out and they dominated possession, but they weren't able to capitalize on opportunities. Dortmund, they were content to sit back, compact, defend well, and look to hit Bayern on the counterattack. And we did see that in the second half, Dortmund actually scored the first goal against the flow of play with capitalizing on a header off of a cross, kind of shocking Bayern a little bit. Now, Vincent Kompany, he said, okay, we need to make a change. We need to do something. He made a triple change. He brought in Rafa Guerreiro, Alexander Pavlovic, and Serge Gnabry. And those players did give the spark to Bayern. Actually, 2 of them, Rafa Guerreiro, ex-Dortmund player, and Serge Gnabry, they both were able to score goals for Bayern. And it looked like Bayern was going to win the Klassiker yet again. But, of course, lots of madness. Dortmund were able to score another goal, and the game did end 2-2. Now, that was probably a fitting ending for that game. Very exciting. And fun fact, Thomas Müller, who is Mr. Bayern Munich, he was playing in his 29th and probably, actually definitely, his last Der Klassiker match. He was named man of the match after a vintage Thomas Müller performance.
Thank you very much, Danya, for all the updates from the Bundesliga. In fact, one of the most unfortunate things that actually happened was the fact that the defending champions, Bayer Leverkusen, were not able to catch up. But maybe we can have that conversation subsequently. This has been Prime Sports with me, Muftahu Nabila Abdullahi. Up next is PM Express.